I recently made a video of me having a panic attack at the Weeknd's concert in Wembley Stadium, and the Daily Mail even made an article about it, which is crazy. But although I try my best, these videos don't always show the whole picture of what happened, so I'm going to react to it now and try and go in a little bit more detail with you about what actually went down. If you like what I do, giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing would really make my day. I also have a Patreon and Telegram channel if you want to support or get in touch. And one more thing, I've shown this before, but some people were asking if you could get one, and now you can. So this is my anti-anxiety t-shirt, I call it. It says "I am safe here" written upside down, and it's embroidered. So basically when you're feeling, in an anxious moment, you can look down, read it, you can remind yourself, and you can also touch the embroidery to kind of shift your focus onto your senses rather than whatever's going on in your head in that moment. It's just an idea I've had for a while, and I made one shirt just for myself, and then people actually were interested and wanted to get one. So you can get one down at the link in the description. You can also get like a black on black version or a white on white version if you want the message to be more discreet, but the embroidery still be there. So let me know what you think in the comments if this is a good idea. And yeah, get one if you like it. But let's get started. So I'm going to the Weeknd After Hours Stadium tour. We're just on our way there. Decided not to take the public transport because this already is going to be quite a big trip. So this is kind of when we were on our way there, and we had taken a zip car, which is basically like you just get your phone and you can book a car. And already I was building up this trip in my head and the idea of public transport, and I was just imagining hundreds of thousands of people being there. I think the stadium can hold 90,000, and I just knew that even for anyone who doesn't have anxiety or agoraphobia, this was probably going to be daunting. So we decided to just skip the public transport and focus on the actual being in the stadium part. And I'm already just really nervous about it, but I'm just taking it slow. So right now, if you can tell, I am quite spaced. Yeah, so I'm basically feeling like kind of depersonalized in this moment, like derealization, but I don't mind that. At this point, I've gotten used to those feelings. I know that when I'm stressed and anxious, I feel depersonalized and disconnected and distant. And I actually kind of was using that in a sense of, okay, this is what I feel like. Let's kind of disconnect from my emotions too much and just let it happen. Spaced out and stressed. The idea of going to a place with like thousands of people, I think it's 90,000 it can hold in one place. And I looked at pictures online of how the crowds look, and yeah, it's not really. Yeah, so I don't know if I should have done that, look at pictures of the crowds, because in my head and after looking at pictures, I was trying to find the perfect seat. I wanted to make sure I knew where the seat was. I think if I just had booked the tickets and tried to not think about it and plan anything as much as I could, I probably would have been less stressed about it, anticipating it less. Something fun, but I'm a huge Weeknd fan, and I think it's worth sucking it up this time. I'll be upset if I didn't go. So yeah. Yeah. So that's me just feeling like, oh, what am I doing? Because it does feel like a bit of self-torture. I would never consider going to a concert. And I am a huge fan of The Weeknd, and I listen to The Weeknd music like basically every day, sometimes almost exclusively. It's kind of bad. But oh man, I wasn't looking forward to it, even though I really should have been looking forward to it. So this is when we got in the cab already. So we took a cab because we couldn't like drive all the way there. And there was a lot of traffic. And you can see already I'm doing this jaw clicking thing. And I felt chest pain, like quite a strong one, that just seeing the traffic and then feeling chest pain and thinking, oh, how is an ambulance going to be able to get to me? How, even it was not fun. And I really was starting to panic a lot. And I just was trying so hard to hold myself together. And here my girlfriend was telling me like just to surrender, and just because that's one thing that I always get tense. I get very tense and I'm panicking, and I just need to loosen and just let things happen rather than trying to, like an animal, look around. Sometimes it does feel like, why do I do this to myself? Because even watching now, I kind of go back there and it's like, it's not fun, it's not nice, but I know that this actually is things that help. But it's why do we have to go through this? But to me, I just feel like, oh, that's just the cards that I was dealt in my life, that I experience things in this way, and it's something that if I don't want it to be like that forever, then I have to do stuff like this. And there I'm kind of just exhaling a lot, and I'm starting to adapt to the feelings and just letting it happen. And I think I started to kind of, feel more. Here I'm waking up, basically, if you can see. I'm starting to come back. Oh, that was a big one. Kind of. So you may think like, oh, I had a panic attack, that's a bad thing, especially if I'm trying to do exposure therapy or something like that, or face a fear. But in my view, that wasn't a bad thing, because it was another evidence that I can handle a panic attack. And so now if I was to do that again, it wouldn't be as bad. And even if I do panic, I know I can handle it. So when you're doing these things, it's not that you don't want to have a panic attack. You still have one, or you might still have one. And that is not a bad thing if it happens. Now this was where I started getting nervous. I don't go to look at so many people coming, and I found this really hard to comprehend. Hi guys, this is literally my worst nightmare. Finding it hard to even comprehend how the crowd works. So there's just so many people. Apparently you're supposed to go up there. So I'm not happy about this. And at this point, I was just standing there, taking everything slow, and I was watching people, and I was trying to adapt myself to just being in this crowd, because it was something I'd only imagined, and it was not something that I would imagine myself going to. And I was just picturing all those people going in there and then thinking, oh, what if something happens and everyone needs to escape? There's going to be a stampede and all this kind of stuff. And I was trying to like acclimatize to the crowd. But I think if I had just went with the crowd and went in, maybe things as well. That's another thing I noticed. Like maybe I could have did it better next time. I'm sure of acclimatizing for a couple minutes to just see how it was. But there's a point where I don't need to do that too much, and maybe I should just keep going, because I did wait here for like at least half an hour just looking at the people going by. I'm still zoned out. But we're good. So we keep going, and I went live on TikTok just to try and tell everyone what I was doing, and I got to the point where we were supposed to go in these gates, and I just was terrified. And this is one thing is really amazing about like the TikTok and YouTube, like all the YouTube comments, everything. They really like inspire me to keep doing these things, because if it was just for me, it's quite hard to say like, okay, I want to do this, but to know that other people are gonna be there and like benefit from it, I think it really helps. So everyone who was there on the lives and stuff, thanks so much. It helps me to actually just say what I'm feeling too, like being on live and talking to people, saying what I feel is happening helps. So if you're doing something like that, even if you just take your camera and like do a diary to yourself, that makes a big difference for me. And then you can watch it later and be like, oh, I felt like that, but this happened and it was fine. So there was one guy who basically, when I told him like I was terrified, he actually walked us to our seats and kind of just told me about how everything works. And it didn't seem as daunting the way he was explaining it as to what I had in my head. Here we are. So here's the kind man who was helping us. And he's just there, he's telling me like, oh, what does it look like? And he told me that when I go there, even if I'm nervous, I'm going to see the view and I'm going to love it. And as soon as I walked out, I was very scared, but I was really amazed. Like, this view was incredible to see, and we were high up. And I was worried about being in a place that's high up and having a panic attack and then doing something crazy or running and not being able to get out in time. I was worried about a disaster happening and then everyone having to leave at the same. So all these things were running through my head, but that didn't serve me any purpose because I'm not the one that's supposed to worry about that. The people that work there are supposed to worry about all that stuff, and that's why they build it in such a way with so many exits, and they have like plans of how would they evacuate people. Like, there's no point for me to worry about it, but I put the burden on me to worry about that. But when I got here, I started to realize that and then try and let go of it. Yeah, so this was cool. I wish I could have showed it like with the music and sound because it was loud, but yeah, I had to put this kids music on. So. I think it syncs up pretty well though. And I'm not comfortable with flashing a lot of flashing lights and stuff. But I'm trying to become comfortable with it, not just hide my eyes from everything. This was so cool. Everyone had these little bracelets, and because I was so anxious, I didn't look around to get one, and I was too eager to just, where are we going? Where do we need to go? And so I didn't get one of these bracelets, but with the actual music, with the beat, look how the crowd is flashing. I've never seen this before. But I found that was so cool. And then I just started, from this point, that's when I was like, whoa, okay, this is pretty cool. I was starting to really enjoy it. But then, so here I went live again because I was actually enjoying myself and I was totally fine. And then suddenly my heart just started racing and I just started getting that, something's wrong with me feeling. Like right when I was on live, I thought I was fine. I was going live to say, hey everyone, I'm having a great time. And then suddenly just, it all started choking up. It started to feel trapped. I felt really dangerous at that point. I felt like I was going to have a full-blown panic attack and have to run. And then my girlfriend even notices because she can tell, like, as soon as my face is, I think it's in my eyes or something, they just look a certain way, and she just started like touching my face and stuff to just in a soothing way. And I'm just telling her that, yeah, I feel like this, and but this was a really important moment too, because if I didn't have a panic attack here and I just sat and it went fine, then that's fine. But now I know, even in a crowded, at the top floor of a massive stadium that's fully booked, that I can handle having a panic attack. And so the panic attack seems less scary next time. And look, these are real screenshots from people in the chat who noticed and were like being nice. So that even made me smile, and that really helped. So even just random people I don't know, like, can help in these moments, and that's why I really love doing stuff like this, because people going through similar things want to support each other. And then sitting through it went down. That was funny. So it was raining like through the whole concert, but luckily we had something over us. But by the time we were leaving, it was absolutely pouring and I got completely soaked. And this part, I didn't film much of it. But I thought I was going to get a cab back, but I was so like felt accomplished that we actually went to the train. And when we got to the train, there was another incident where we got there kind of early, and then I realized, whoa, so many people are going to be coming, and I'm going to be on a completely packed train, and that is one of my worst fears. But again, that was all in my head, and when the train came, it wasn't even that full, and we got on it, and it wasn't too bad, but I was freaking out so much. But yeah, that was a great trip. It was not the easiest, not the easiest at all, and but it was definitely one of, like, it was very worth it. I thought I was gonna be like, oh, I can't see any of the musicians I like because I would never go to a concert, and I can never say I've done this, or I can never say. Who knows if I think the Weeknd, he said he's not going to be the Weeknd anymore, so that would have been my last chance, and I was considering not going there. I even booked the tickets and said I'm probably not going to go because it's too much, and no one's going to know about this video, and it's just going to be fine. I just wasted money, but I went, and now that is something that is always here that I know I can do. So for any other situation, and there are other situations still a lot that I need to work on, I can think back to that and say, okay, if I can handle that situation, I'm going to be able to handle this one too. So I hope that this can help someone else experiencing similar things. Let me know in the comments if it does. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to react to, or anything else you want me to actually do, if it would help you. Thank you so much for watching, and a huge thank you to my patrons on Patreon. All of you listed here, I really appreciate every single one of you. And if you'd like to become a Patreon, if you want to support me and the channel, then the link's in the bio. And just, yeah, thank you everyone so much. You guys help me to actually be able to make these videos and keep doing them, because it's actually it's a lot of work. It's hard, and I'm trying to get one out every week. I know I missed last week, but I'm going to keep trying to get one consistently every week, even if it's just a reaction or if it's a real vlog or doing some kind of exposure therapy. But yeah, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, please hit the bell icon, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.